and welcome back to Play Hour and day 2 of our Molly Garden miniature build. Very cute it is. So of course we did these walls, which we will be using almost first thing, and we made our little flower shop, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. I really do. I did put some marker on the inside of the door here, and also on this side and around the top, just so it didn't stand out quite so much, and I did put a little bit on the sides, but I don't think those are overly going to be necessary, and a little bit on the top here, but again I don't think it's really overly going to be seen. I see a glue string. So that's where we are. I will get ready. First of all, we're going to do a piece which needs a tiny piece of paper. I'm going to get that done and then we can get moving. This looks very crooked, doesn't it? It's not though, it's just the way it's just the way it looked right there. Probably something landed on it or something, I don't know. Alright, let me get that one piece ready and get our first set of stuff ready to do a build. Alright, so first things first, we are going to put this little piece of paper on our flooring here. Just make sure I get that the right way around. Wouldn't have been that way. And just probably not too much of this, just a little, probably way too much, and this goes on here, and this will go on that floor right here. So let's get that sorted like so, and then this will go on here like this, and you want it that you could see the light grey, light brown outwood piece. So I'm just going to use B7000 for this. You could use wood glue, it's more sensible. In like this, and then we do have a frame that's going to go here, but we also have some plants which go in here. So they kind of want you to put the back of it on first, but it would kind of restrict your movement quite a bit. So let's have this that is touching the back, and that looks pretty good there. Double check again. That was to show you what I'm doing. Not that I could see either, by the way. It was kind of like the opposite to me as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the sides on, and the roof. Actually, I might just, well, no, I'll get the sides on the roof. Stop touching it. I'm moving it around here. And then I will put the decoration in, put these walls on that go in front of here before I put the back wall. In the back wall you're going to have this one, and you also have this one that we did with the ones that I'm not sure whether we cut that out or not. It doesn't really say. So and this is not going to be this building here. This one will be sitting somewhere like so, off to one side. But we have two units to make, one here and one here, and you can see them on here, which we haven't even started. So I'm going to get this wall underway. So now that we have that corner in, what we need is, let's see if I can find the right piece. Not this one. This one here, which has the hinge area on. Really does make me wonder if that's on right, you know, because I think the hinge needs to go this way. Oh, maybe that, no, because it's going to be on the inside. I'm trying to think about this. I think it is on wrong. I think it needs to go, my goodness, make up your mind. It is wrong. It's on the right side, but it's upside down. So I will see if I can get it off. If not, we have the other piece of paper. Actually, it might be safer. Put the other piece of paper straight on top of it, because it is wrong. What you want is you want the hinges towards the front of this. So let me get that cut out from our other templates. Very bizarre, but how handy. Bizarre to have two lots of papers. So I have another one, this one right in the middle here. So I'm going to cut this one out and I'm going to stick it the opposite way up right on top of it, and I think we will be fine. So give me one sec. Alright, so now we have it the right way. So it's like they made these spare parts just for me, don't you think? It's like, she always makes mistakes, she needs spare parts. I feel very privileged, I do. So I'm just going to use B7000 for this, stringy as it is, and make sure your wallpaper side that I've just redone is on the inside, and that it's even with the edge, like so. Hit really well. A little bit of pushing in there so that base plate wasn't quite in all the way proper. Might be too much now. There we go. And we do this to two types, different sizes and different walls, but we do this to another one as well. Right, the second side is going to have our little picture here, and it's going to be towards the bottom and it's going to go here. So I'm going to put this onto its back. I think that's probably the best way, and put glue on the piece. So on here, and this one doesn't have any place to put your hinges, so just make sure your pattern's on the inside. I was tempted to go and get my brackets, but we will see if it's going to be needed. It may. Okay, and then last piece is just a plain piece. So what you want, I should zoom you out, goodness, for these bigger pieces, sorry, is the B11 side is going to go down, and this piece is going to go up, and it's just going to sit on top, and this way we can make sure that everything is very square. So let me get that done. And like I say, at this point you would normally put your back on and a back wall, and then you'd struggle to put your plants in. Although, could I put the plants in from the front? You know, I think I could. Maybe I will do that after all, rather than doing it from the back. I was going to put the plants in from the back. I guess this is the outside edge here. I wonder if I should paint that somewhat. Nothing like moving it. I think we could do that, you know. Well, I think we could paint it, but I also think we could put the back wall on, and then we could put the plants through the front there. Would it be easier? I'm very much questioning myself, I will think on this. Okay, I'm going to pop that to one side to not necessarily dry fully, but give it a, make a start. We'll start on the other one. So the other one is going to have this, I believe. Nope, I lied. It's going to have this piece. It's going to have this other floor. I don't think it matters which way round it is. This piece is going to go on this side, like so. Drink. Round it goes, like this way. And then the other piece we have is going to be, just trying to see which one, this one, which is going to go like so. Just checking myself, double checking, because they kind of start it one way and then they change it on me. So yeah, so this one goes here. So basically we're going to make another cube exactly as what we just did, without any backing or anything like that. And because it's B7000 1,000, although it would have been better probably with wood glue. It will have some movement on it. So we want our window like so. I did put my tacky glue in a bottle this morning, so I will be curious as to if that helps. Okay, it's not straight at all, but it is there. And then the other wall will be this one here. So we get some glue on the bottom there. And then again we'll put the roof on. So like so. Give or take. And then when this is dry, we've been playing with hinges, and we'll be doing lights today as well, and start putting some of the decoration on. Like I said, I don't think this one's going to be a particularly long build, but it still is a build. Right, let me get my roof ready, and it's exactly the same as the other one, where you are going to have the wood as such on the inside and the painted part on the outside. Doesn't want to come out the former. Hold on, give this a little bit more effort. There we go. Just sand this down. I wasn't that prepared. And you want the cream side on the top and this on the bottom. I was taking the lid off of something that's already got the lid off. And these both can go to one side and dry for a moment. Okay. And then this can get it all nicely squared up to an extent. Of course, it's still going to have some movement involved with it. This one, I actually don't think ever has a back. It kind of just goes on the front of the other one, from what I can tell. This needs to pop out a little bit. Like so. And in a little bit here. And out a bit here. And you can see this one's got two places for hinges because it has like two openings. It's pretty cool, huh? I've not done one like that before. I've done one with, you know, obviously one opening. It's like the houses that these go with do that. But not one with two ways to open it. And there we have those two ready to dry, and we will get them going like so. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Alright, let me leave them to dry. Alright, so they've probably had long enough. What I think we're going to do next is put the hinges on all of these and get that done. So I also looked into, because we're going to be doing lighting soon, the batteries. I don't have one of these. They're 1022. I looked for any comparisons that I had and I do not. So I'm going to get some on order. They should arrive tomorrow, but until then I cannot check them, but I will still do the bits that's needed. It's a little bit down on there. Okay, so what we want to do is, let's see, let's start off with this one with the two, and you want to have it going on the inside like so. You can't see that. Like that. You want it on the inside like so, so that you can open. Can't do it with my hands. Sticking to stuff. Hold on, let's try that again then. You want it on the inside so that it goes like so when it opens. Okay, so let's make sure that we get them the right way around. And also this one, you need to leave a little space, I think it's this one, to allow for the plastic. That should slip in. It's not going to make much difference, but it could. So just got to make sure they're around the right way. And they're all going to be the same way because they kind of all open up the same direction. So let's get, where did I put the glue? I keep using that. Why is it when I do small stuff I always use the big camera, and then when I'm doing small stuff I don't seem to use the right size camera? It's a rhetorical question, you don't need to answer. I mean, yeah. And one here. And like I say, just want to make sure it opens the right way and you have enough space to open it. Oh, it's very wobbly still, so go careful with that, otherwise you will end up having it broken. It's because I'm double checking myself like 10 million times here. Okay, so we'll get these on, and if they're stiff then you can hollow them out. Well, you can knock them out with a screwdriver to loosen them up. Something like so. Trying to make sure that they're as even as possible. And then two on the other side, and we can put the backing plate on there. You can see this wall's already twisted, but it's okay because it will get squared up when we do the rest of it, so it's not such a big deal. So again, so you're gonna have a wall opening from here, and you're also going to have this one opening as well. So we want to have this one opening that way. Good times. Basically all you're doing is allowing a tiny bit on the end in order to make sure that you can open it. And basically it's gosh, can't show you anything, can I? You can have the pin side going upwards so it closes like so, but just make sure you've got enough room to make it close like so. And the same with this one. So it looks kind of something like that. And then what we're going to do is on the end we are going to put a plate. If I could find the right one, you'd have thought it would be one which has two holes both sides, wouldn't you? Let me check on this. Okay, it does not, it just goes one side like so. So let's get that on there. And they could probably be pushed a little bit more. I've probably been a bit too scared. And just make sure it's flat at the bottom, which means it is going to have an overhang at the top here. Okay, and I think for this, literally, I don't trust that I've got it right, really. And put that all the way down. Clicking on the window bit. Okay, and then I'm going to alter those hinges a little bit. Okay, so something like so. Like this one needs to come up a little. Okay, Maybe if I wasn't applying pressure at the same time, it'd be a bit easier to do. There we go. And I'm just going to make sure that they're flat with here for now on all sides, so that we can get those down and on. See, like this one needs to come out a bit more because every time I press it, it's pulling at the it still is being a pain in the butt. Okay. So I think that will be okay. Okay, and then next we are going to get the other wall ready. Where is it? Here it is. This one here, and these pieces will go on here and join up basically, and this is kind of towards the back of it, but I'm going to give this a moment to take before I do that. Make sure that we are okay, because I'm going to have to move those. I guess I could do it. They seem to be okay. Worst comes to worst, I've got WD-40, huh? Okay. And we'll put these on here the same way. I use wood glue again because I'm going to be, I'm going to use B7000 at the bottom and then wood glue on top. So I'm just going to line these up so it's something like that, and out a bit more I think. I want to have a little space because it needs some movement, and then I'm going to put this side on with wood glue, and I'm going to leave this to dry for a while. Probably put some clamps on it, to be honest with you, and leave it for a little bit. Make sure it takes. Alright, let me line this up under my face, make sure it still works, and I'm going to clamp it. I'll be back. Okay, so I had the clamps on and it looks okay. I mean, that's what we end up with. It does open pretty much all the way really, and comes back. Doesn't snap back, but I guess that's the type of model it is more than anything. So we're going to pop these on the end here. And maybe we can get that. I don't think it's going to help it going closer, to be honest with you, but we can but try. So I'm going to make sure that it's lined up here, so if there's any gap it's going to be in the middle here, because I don't think there's going to be a gap anyway. Right, let me get that wood glue going, and we will get both of these on. I'll just use some wood glue on this. Doesn't need too much. Doesn't need it at the bottom, that's for sure. But we need a little. And put that in here. Oh, I keep sticking to everything today. Every time I put my elbow down, I seem to have stuck something to me. Okay, so like so, making sure that this edge is tight, and then this one too, and again just making sure it's as tight as it can be to this edge. So this side here is going to have another piece on the front as well, which I think is going to have the see-through stuff on it. which is pretty cool. Put that away before it gets damaged. I don't know how supportive this is really, but I think we're okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these walls in here. So I'm going to open this. See, this doesn't look straight, does it? Maybe I just moved it. Or maybe I should clamp this too. Let me do that. Okay, those are on, so it's not going to make a difference to what we're going to do. We're going to put a couple of pieces of shop front, not the one we did yesterday, but another one on here, and then we're going to put the greenery. Then we are going to put build a couple of units which are going to sit back here, but I'll probably before that put the backing on. And a little gate piece here, but we need some lights done and things like that, so I will be getting to do that. So let's start with these pieces of wood. Let me get them out and ready. Okay, and these are just going to sit in front of here and down the side there, and then eventually when we put the one we made yesterday, it will join up to it. So let me make sure I get this round the right way. So you want the curved part towards the top. Just going to put some on the side here so it can stick to the wall. Come here. So it'll be like so, she says. She can't get it on at all. Make sure it's all the way back, and that looks pretty lined up. Probably shouldn't have tried to wipe off the glue, huh? And then we're going to be playing with some lights. I might even get batteries delivered today. Someone's going to try and buy some for me when they go to the store, so it might be by the time this is finished. Okay, stop playing with it and it might even have a chance to set. You know, I do think it's a bit closer to the forward than what I have it though, because look at the bottom, there's hardly a gap down there. Let's try that. Okay, and then the same with this one again, looking at the arches towards the front. Oh, you couldn't see what I was doing anyway, huh? Sorry guys. The thought was there. Let's try and have it facing you this time then. And then we're going to get some greenery in here before we put the backing plate on. Probably do the light actually next. Oh, sorry, hit the camera. It was a big hit too. So you got a bit travel sick there. It was like a humpback bridge. Okay. It's actually going to have a roof on this little thing too. Alright. So you want it to join with each other. Again, it makes you want to have done cream on it, like on the join there, doesn't it? I think my glue is drying really fast. Go ahead and just put that down. Okay. Alright, so let me get some green stuff ready, and we'll probably be able to take off our clamps very soon as well, so let me get that all ready for us to get some green on. And then we have some stuff to do with these lights. Even though I haven't tested them, we're going to give it a go. Okay, so we need several like different cuts of this for this part. So one like so, a couple looking a bit like that, which mine's very not much to it, is there really? Theirs looks a lot more bushy compared to mine. Mine's just very skinny. Let's put it that way. And then we're going to put some flowers on, which I've got here, through the other side. Let's get another one. And we don't need this for anything else because there's not much of it. I mean, I'm sure I've got more of it elsewhere, but from previous projects and things. Well, let's see if I can get this one reasonably straight, and that can go in first. So let's see what we can do. And the windows that we just put in probably aren't overly dry either. So let's see. I did take off the clamps from this side, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here and see what we can get to stick, basically. And this is the only one with, I think, quite so much green that came out. That did. It's not good. Ooh, strong smell in that glue. Off you go. I can't get this quite right shape, you know. Oops. Maybe something like that. Be good if it touched the bottom. I mean, I don't. It didn't kind of give me an awful lot of choices of things to put on here, really. Like it was a bit skimpy. Let's come out. Wait, stay up there. Door really wants to come out. Some more glue on. It's actually, most times you do these models and you end up with so much greenery, it's way too much, which is why I know I'd have loads over from another plant or something, but this time this particular one seems rather skimpy and not a very good design either. Guess we can squeeze one more in, maybe. Like you can see, this one's not even, this back one's not even actually touching the floor. Well, you probably can't see. I know it's not touching the floor. Can I squeeze them one more at the front there? Let's give it a go. I hope I don't need this for anything else, honestly, because I wouldn't have it. I don't have much left of this at all. Right, I'm going to see if I can squeeze this right down the front there. See if I can get it quite close to the bottom. I'm going to have to redo that wall because I keep poking it out. Okay, let's have a look what it look like. Looking a little bit closer to the windows here. I'll put some glue on the top here. Let's see if I can encourage it to stay there. Some on this one too. Patience, right? Patience. Right, let's get this wood. Gonna have to be 7,000 because I think all the wood glue's worn off. Okay, give that a second or two to take. I still don't like how this looks. It looks like it's got so much more at the front than what I have. one in her. Maybe I'll squeeze this one at the front as well. Or, I'll tell you what, let's take this off a second. It's loose anyway. Let's get some more tweezers. And then we'll put that wall back up. Let's see, have a little bit left. I just don't like it. It kind of looked really skimpy, didn't it? Do you not think? Like I say, these types of models normally have way too much green and you think you've missed something, but this particular one is quite scarce. That's a bit better. What do you think? It's a bit better, isn't it? At least it looks like it's got some in there. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to let this dry for a second, particularly this wall, and then we just put the flowers through the windows onto the green. Okay, give me a mo. Alright, that's had a minute or two. So what I'm going to do is add these flowers and start on these lights. So I'm thinking I'll put one here, just somewhere close to the window flowers. If you could have been nice and made your green go near the flowers, near the windows, that would have been better. And third one, where should we go? Over here. I think that's about the best we're going to do with the green that we have. And I have a pink flower, like so. Just make sure it's all the way in. So you want it in through the window, would be good. Then, so that was like a very light pink. This one's more cerise. Where did I put that one at the back? Back here, I think. Actually don't recall where I put it. Let's put the white one on here though. I do know that that one's there. Something like that. I can't remember where I put this other one, you know, where I put the blob of glue. So let's put a little bit on here instead. They look a bit like cupcakes when you look at it upside down like this. Okay, you can get off me now. There we go. And I guess I'll put one over here. If I can get it off me. Tweezers. So it's like that. This one needs to definitely be back more. Maybe I can put it underneath that top window. Well, we want to see it. Right, leave that with me a sec. Okay, that's kind of how that looks. I've taken the other, can't think of the name, brackets, clamps off. So we have a roof to put on here as well, but before I do that I'm going to start on these lights. So let me put that to one side, let that dry. So we need our string and we need 8 centimetres. So I don't think I've even used my ruler this morning yet. There we go, 8 centimetres it is. And we need to then undo it to make 2 strands, but I think we're only going to use 1 maybe? I actually don't know. Find out in a minute. It says 2 small strands, so that's our 8 centimetres. So you just separate the 2 into 2, and then we are going to flatten them out like paper. So I don't know if you've ever seen me do this before or not. Let's get them separated first and I'll show you. So what you want to do is, I'm not even sure that I'm going to be able to do it from this sort of distance from the camera. Anyway, So what you want is you want the end of it. Let me find another pair of tweezers. Both of those are in for, you need cleaning gas. Okay, so what you want is you want to get the end kind of like so, and then separate it, like unravel it, and what it ends up doing is looking like very thin paper. I'm not sure why they just don't give you paper in the first place, but I guess it's to teach you something, give you something to do for the model. I will get there. There we go. See, now it's coming out like paper here. And what you need to do is that all the way along one, I think just one, and then I'll show you which lamp wires we need to do, because there's only one side of it that we actually need to do, and I'll show you that. Let me get this unraveled and we'll keep this one, I guess. I think it's just one we're going to need. Alright, I'll be back in one tick. Okay, that's kind of what you end up with. It reminds me of like, I must have seen a documentary years ago about how they wrap cigar with tobacco leaves, I guess. Oh, I ripped it. Didn't see that, did you? Anyway, that's kind of what you're going to have with. So, our switch. So there are two sets of lights. There's one which has 4 bulbs this side, and there's one with just 2. So we want the one with 2, and you want to do 5 centimeters roughly, and we're going to wrap it around until the bulb, and then we're going to carry on along the other one for another 6 centimeters. So I'm guessing that I'll have to stop it somewhere in between to cut it and then redo. So 5 centimeters means starting around here, down here. So let's get some glue ready. He didn't say use more than one strand of this. That said, when I cut it, I kept the bit that was over and started unwrapping that rather than the bit I'd actually cut. So even though I know this is going to be used again for something else, I hope it doesn't use too much of it. And then just going to wrap it literally around. So let's get more glue than that on. So you want it both on the wire and the paper. Well, I mean just one, I guess. Wouldn't make much difference. Right, hopefully, come on, hurry up, otherwise it'll take. We don't want it to take, so something like so. Oops. And all the way up, and this is actually going to go on the other piece, the other room that we haven't really done anything to yet. Not that we've done much to either of the rooms, have we? Okay, so let's go up as far as that. And then I guess we just cut it and start again. Doesn't seem like it's going to be big enough. Maybe I've done it too tight. I don't think this is 6 centimeters over. Let me just hook this one up, and I will get the other side done for about 6 centimeters. I might undo some more of the string in order to do that. Let's get this one tidied up at least. Something like that. Right, and now we'll start on this side. So, like I said, I'm going to go and get another piece of paper ready. We use this one to start with because it's got that torn piece. And I'll take another small piece and get it going so we can do about 6 centimeters. So just a bit longer than this one. And this is going to go on the far wall, this wall up here. So let's get that done. I'll be back. Okay, so it's on. So it's roughly probably about 5 centimeters. Pretty close actually, 5 centimeters that side. So this side, which wanted 6, would take you to here, but then they show you in the picture you carry on to the end between the two lights. So that is what I have done. Next we are going to attach this to the wall. So the first one, this one, is going to go, it looks like it's going over the wall, but surely it would go in the hole, wouldn't it? Because there's nothing else for it to use. Huh. It's got to, surely. Kind of looks like it's going to go over the top of the wall and then fold down like so, because you're going to seal this, store this on the end. But I reckon trying to have a look. Oh, you know what? I bet that end is the button. Why would you have the button there? Wouldn't make any sense. Can't have the button there either. So this is going to be stuck onto the wood, and then that's confusing. So it shows us going through the hole on the first one, but in the smaller picture, the one closer to it, it shows it the other way around. So let's get this stuck on here and put the first one through that hole. So let's get my B7000. Seems to be the one that I've been using today, even though I got the other one ready. And let's just hope that the switchboard fits, being that I don't have the battery yet. So I'm going to just do that and get that on there. And you want to make sure that you have it with the little black switch, this here, on facing outwards, basically. And we want to get that secured, and in the meantime get this through that hole, which isn't a hole yet, but it is about to be. Ouch. As I say, I keep attaching to everything. I think it's because I've got all my bloody tools out. Now this is going a bit blunt, isn't it? So this one just goes through there, and they want it folding down to about halfway. About how I have it, so about like that. And then we need to put a light shade on the, not that one, yes, this one. We're going to put a light shade on there, and then we will get this in place. So I'm guessing we should probably glue that down. Really hoping and praying these lights work, because it's going to be a bit late, isn't it? I am thinking I will have them dropped off very soon. Okay, get rid of that. Right, light shade. Let me get the little bits I need for that. I need 2 pieces, I think. Okay, and then we are going to stick it something like how it's shaped here. So you're going to have the long one going in here, you're going to have that one pretty close to it, and then this last one to be quite far down, really, even though it looks like these two are longer. Maybe something like so. So I think we just need a little bit of glue on both of these to hold it in position. This one's quite low too. Let's see, maybe I can have that down more, like this. Then this one like that, and that one like that. That would kind of work. Okay, right, let's get that in. Okay, after a song and a dance, they're roughly in position as this one just fell. Alright, let me get back to it. I'm using Bondic now. I was using, actually it didn't fall, it's the way it's meant to be, just probably a bit more up, that's what I think. Maybe like so. Kind of want it to be at the back too, because we're going to have a wall going there. but it wants to be inside it, so maybe something like so. Right, bear with me, let me play with this a bit more. So something like that. It's hardly going to be seen, so it's probably not a big deal. Then this one goes straight across here, so we need to tie it into the top here, and you want the first bulb being around here, and the other one with a wiggly line, it says. Well, it doesn't say, but it shows that. I think this wire, can't see the thing I'm showing, this wire between this one and this one is a lot longer than they say, by the way, like 4 centimeters longer. So we want it like so, and like here. We want enough room for that to open and close, so something like so. And this I should be able to super glue. I couldn't super glue the other side because it didn't want to take, really. Okay, so some here and here. I should be alright. And here. And if we hold it there, because it's going onto that paper, it should stay. The other side said no to a lot of things. I did use Bondic in the end in at least one spot anyway. Right, give that a moment. Hold that and it should stay, she says. Maybe my super glue's gone crap or something. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do is call it for today, except for testing those lights when it comes. So I'm going to wait. So that's kind of what it looks like on the back. Something like so. And then on the front. And I think those are the only lights we end up with. So I think this one here in the middle here is meant to be a bit lower than I have it. And I might adjust them yet once we know where the furniture and stuff's going. So this one's kind of going to go behind this house window that's going in here, like so, and it will go in here. So I might very well adjust it. So I might put, I don't want to put this on next because we've got some furniture coming in too, unless I do that and then we do the furniture from the back along with then putting the last wall on, and that way I can adjust the lights. I think I am going to do that, you know. I think we will. Let me do that. I'll get that in and then we'll call it quits for today. And let's use wood glue. It's not like it's a wall that's going to particularly hold, but yes, I think we'll do this and then I can feed everything else in from the back, and then my final piece will be to put the I sort the lights out a bit better that way, and also put some on this side as well, but also rearrange, yeah, like I say, rearrange the lights and stuff. So you kind of want it a little bit at an angle, it says. So something like so. I'm thinking a bit more back, otherwise it's going to catch that front piece. I wouldn't swear that it will 100%, mind you. So something like so. If I'd realised it was going to touch top there, I would have put glue on there as well. But this is kind of what it should look like. Can you did you see any of that? Okay, so it go on like so. Oh, I didn't quite mean it to do that. Pushed it too much. Too much. Kind of want, I think the end of this wood would be good place to join up with this edge here. just make sure that that's not leaning over. Pretty certain it's probably meant to go something like so, and then we have something like so, and probably this one's meant to drop down in there, but oh, the bonding's just come off as well. Having trouble with my lights today. It's because they're waiting for the battery, that's what I'm going with. Alright, so, and this does open and close, so we're okay on that. Alright, so I will be back in a moment when or a moment for you, when I have batteries and I can test it, and then we will call it for today. Okay, so they weren't able to get the batteries, so I have ordered them. They should arrive tomorrow, so it'll be enough time for us to look at. So this is how we're looking as far as the lights go. So I've got this one just in front of the window, this one above the door, that one in front of the window as well. This one's just popping over the side and it opens up fine, so this has got a little bit of wiggle room from back here where my finger's pointing to, so that it makes it too big right now, but bearing in mind we will have an end on, so I'll just pull that tight to this so it's got room. This is very wobbly, but it looks quite straight compared, so I think we're looking alright. So that's what we have. I reckon this down here is going to need more glue. Okay, so let's leave it as that for day 2, and then we can come back for day 3. Hopefully I'll have the battery. If not, it should be day 4. We should be able to test this before it's finished anyway, but it's looking pretty cool. I mean, I think that looks delightful. Beautiful little thing, isn't it? Going to put a roof on here as well. We have 2 buildings to build back here, so one's going to go here where those marks are on the floor, one's going to go here by the window. I'd imagine the door is going in. We do have a door for it, plus roofing panels will be going on here, and I think that helps direct where this wire is going to go as well, so it could be that we put it more inwards in the first place, so that then it goes into this one and it doesn't look so weird. So alright, thank you very much for watching. Do please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow, and do take care of yourselves. Take care, bye.